movie update on movie update. And the film that we're going to be doing on this one is the film Crime Zone. This is a VHS copy because it's not available on DVD, and I don't think it will be getting a DVD release. The film is from 1988, and the whole reason that I bought it is, if you notice right here, it has David Carradine's name in it, who recently passed away. Rest in peace, David. But this film, I thought it was okay. It's not the greatest movie ever. It's a like straight-to-video movie released by MGM. It's like a sci-fi movie. David Carradine's name is all over it because this is probably pretty much the low point of his career. But his name's all over it because he's like the only named actor in it. But he's actually not even the star. He's like a he's a co-star. He's definitely not the he's not the the two main stars are this girl and this guy. But the guy who wrote this is Daryl Haney. His name is. The only other thing notable that he wrote is Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, which is I actually enjoyed that one. Special effects done on that's really good. And the guy who directed this name is Louis Laza. He really directed absolutely nothing. The only other, except for 80s like straight-to-video movies, the only other thing I could say that he has maybe that you might know of is Watchers Part 3 he directed, which wasn't a good movie, but it's part of Watchers franchise. But anyway, on to Crime Zone. First thing that hit me about this movie is the cover art. I love this 80s style cover art that's done on this movie. I wish they would go back to doing the drawings rather than all computerized Photoshop shit. But this is a really good cover art. Film's pretty much about this guy who falls in love with like a hooker, and they're in like this time where like a plague occurred. Nobody's allowed. You're not allowed to drink. You're not allowed to have a girlfriend. You're not allowed to do drugs. You're not allowed to really party. You're not allowed to do anything. And it's all you get killed or arrested if you're caught doing any of that. They're considered like these rebels. And this guy falls in love with this hooker. He gets kicked out of his. He gets fired from his job as one of the officers who were arresting people, and he gets sent to this place called the Dead End Zone, where they it's like all losers, people who don't have jobs. They all hang at this like bar place. And he wants to go out with the girl, but everyone keeps, the cops are after him and everything. One day he's outside, and the best actor, best character, he plays the character so cool in this movie, is David Carradine. David Carradine comes up, and he's like in the background smoking a cigar, and he gives them an offer they can't refuse. Tells them, if you rob this computer chip for me, I'll get you out of this. I'll get you into like a different, like it's a different land where there is none. Where there's none of that security. You're allowed to have a girlfriend and everything. They go right for it, and they rob the computer chip. David Carradine tells them, in a couple days we're going to take you out of here. A couple days later comes, David Carradine says it's going to take more days, but if you're interested in a bank robbery, they go to the bank robbery. They get caught on the surveillance camera, and their computers in the future recognize their faces by their eyes, because they're wearing gas masks when they do it. So then the rest of the film is, I'm going to quote it straight off the back, a post-Holocaust Bonnie and Clyde. That's pretty much what it turns into. These two they're like crime partners, and they pretty much just go, and that's all. And they just keep robbing banks and everything. David Carradine screws them over. There's a whole subplot with David Carradine. I'm not going to ruin this little surprise with the David Carradine part. And the rest of the film is them trying to get out of this town. Overall, it's not a bad film. It's definitely a B-movie. It has very bad dialogue, cheesy script writing, everything you would say in the normal 80s straight-to-video. But I'm a big fan of 80s straight-to-video films, even 80s straight-to-video action films. And if you like that feel, if you know what I'm talking about, they all have a certain feel to them, like the 80s straight-to-video movies. This definitely has that feel. But check it out. Oh, I forgot to mention that too. The great Roger Corman was the executive producer of this. That's probably the reason why David Carradine was in it, because them two were close. Well, they were close friends. And David Carradine and Roger Corman. But it is a It's a good movie. Check it out if you're into that. If you're not into that kind of stuff, don't check it out. It's not a great movie, but it's definitely watchable. And that's all I have to say right now about Crime Zone. Picked it up for about 50 cents at a flea market. Can't beat it. I'll be back later with some more movie reviews.